Number 1. Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel. Today we're diving into one of Hollywood's most talked about feuds. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Vin Diesel. Buckle up, it's a wild ride. Things started heating up back in 2016 during the filming of The Fate of the Furious. The Rock took to Instagram and called out some of his male co-stars for what he called unprofessional behavior. And yep, he used the words "candy asses." Fans quickly connected the dots, and all signs pointed straight to Vin Diesel. Vin later responded, saying it was all just tough love to push Dwayne toward a better performance. But, let's be honest, The Rock wasn't buying it. The feud got so intense that the two didn't share a single scene together in the film, despite both being main characters. And now? Dwayne Johnson has made it crystal clear he's done with the main Fast and Furious films if Vin's involved. Number 2. Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall. Now we're talking about a feud that shook Sex and the City fans to their core. Sarah Jessica Parker versus Kim Cattrall. On screen, they were the ultimate besties. But behind the scenes, not so much. For years, rumors swirled about tension between the two stars, and eventually, things spilled into the public. Kim Cattrall accused Sarah Jessica Parker of being manipulative and disingenuous. And when Cattrall's brother sadly passed away, Parker offered her condolences publicly. But Cattrall wasn't having it. She slammed Parker, calling her message an exploitation of tragedy. Ouch. And that wasn't all. The feud went so far that Kim refused to be part of the reboot series, and just like that, officially ending both their friendship and their on-screen partnership. Number 3. Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. Now we're diving into a behind-the-scenes clash you probably didn't expect. Bill Murray versus Lucy Liu. Yep, even the funniest people in Hollywood have their not-so-funny moments. Back in 2000, while filming Charlie's Angels, things reportedly got very tense between Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. According to multiple reports, the drama started over the quality of the script. Bill Murray allegedly criticized Liu's acting, right there on set, and it did not go over well. Lucy Liu didn't stay silent. She stood up for herself, and the argument escalated so quickly that it almost turned physical. Years later, Liu confirmed the confrontation in an interview and said, quote, "I stood up for myself, and I don't regret it." Murray was replaced in the sequel, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, by the late, great Bernie Mac, and let's just say, he and Lucy Liu did get along. Since then, Murray and Liu have never worked together again, proving that even comedy legends can clash hard when the cameras stop rolling. Number 4. Will Smith and Janet Hubert. Now, we're talking about a long-standing feud that had fans buzzing for decades. Will Smith versus the original Aunt Viv. Janet Hubert. Back in the early 90s, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a massive hit. But after season 3, something unexpected happened. Janet Hubert, who played Aunt Viv, suddenly disappeared from the show. For years, fans speculated about what really went down behind the scenes. Janet Hubert later accused Will Smith of being arrogant and difficult to work with, saying he helped push her out of the show. On the flip side, Will hinted that Janet wanted too much control and wasn't easy to collaborate with. The tension between them lasted nearly 30 years, with both sides throwing shade in interviews over the years. But in 2020, during the show's 30th anniversary special, the two finally sat down face to face. They talked it out, apologized, and made peace. Publicly, at least. However, Janet made one thing clear. She has no interest in working with Will again. So while time healed some wounds, not all of them. Number 5. Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Now we're talking about one of the most iconic on-screen couples of the 90s, Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes in Romeo plus Juliet. Their chemistry was undeniable on screen. But off-screen, total opposite. Released in 1996, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo plus Juliet became a cult classic, thanks in large part to the intense performances from DiCaprio and Danes. But behind the scenes, things were reportedly tense. Claire Danes allegedly found Leo immature and disruptive on set, constantly goofing off between takes. Meanwhile, DiCaprio thought Danes was too uptight and overly serious, not exactly the stuff great friendships are made of. Despite the movie's critical and box office success, Both actors made it clear they had no interest in working together again. Since then, they've spoken respectfully of each other in interviews. No public jabs, no bad blood. Just professional distance. Sometimes great art really does come from not getting along. Number 6. Bruce Willis and Kevin Smith. Now we're diving into a director-actor duo that should have been a match made in movie heaven, but turned into a complete nightmare. Bruce Willis versus Kevin Smith. Back in 2010, Kevin Smith directed Cop Out, an action comedy starring Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. On paper, it looked like a hit, but behind the scenes, things went downhill. Fast. Kevin Smith later revealed that working with Bruce Willis was, in his words, soul-crushing. He said Willis was uncooperative, disinterested, and basically didn't want to be there. Smith even claimed he had to beg Bruce just to do basic press and promotion for the movie. Imagine having to beg your lead actor to help promote his own film. The experience left such a bad taste that Smith publicly vowed never to direct Bruce Willis again. Even in Hollywood, where egos often clash, this feud stands out. Sometimes, no matter how big the names, the creative chemistry just isn't there. And it shows. Number 7. Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy. Now we're talking about a clash between two intense actors, Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy, and the on-set showdown that almost shut down a movie. Back in 2012, Shia and Tom starred together in Lawless, a gritty crime drama. But it wasn't just the characters who were throwing punches. Rumors started flying that the two actors got into an actual fight off camera. Tom Hardy later brushed it off, calling it brotherly wrestling. But insiders on set claimed it was a full-blown brawl that nearly halted production. Sources say Shia's method acting and unpredictable behavior really got under Hardy's skin. Meanwhile, Hardy's more disciplined physical style didn't mesh well with Shia's intense energy. Despite both actors being incredibly talented, their creative chemistry was basically a ticking time bomb. And after Lawless, let's just say, no one's expecting a reunion anytime soon. Number 8. Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp. Now we're talking about two of Hollywood's biggest names, Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, starring in one movie. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, not quite. Behind the scenes of The Tourist, things weren't so glamorous. In 2010, The Tourist hit theaters, starring Jolie and Depp in what looked like a surefire box office hit. But on set, the vibes were anything but romantic. According to multiple reports, the two had zero chemistry. They barely spoke between takes, and the energy was described as awkward, at best. Angelina reportedly found Johnny's on-set habits unprofessional, and Johnny wasn't a fan of her being so hands-on with creative decisions. The tension between them was so obvious, it actually overshadowed the film's release. Critics and fans alike noticed something was off. Despite being two of the most iconic names in Hollywood, this duo showed us that even star power can't fake a connection. Number 9. Alec Baldwin and Shia LaBeouf. Now today, we're going from Hollywood to Broadway to talk about a clash that shook the theater world. Alec Baldwin versus Shia LaBeouf. It had everything. Backstage drama, public shade, and even leaked emails. Let's break it down. In 2013, Alec Baldwin and Shia LaBeouf were set to co-star in the Broadway play Orphans. But from the start, it was clear. These two did not get along. LaBeouf, known for his intense method acting, reportedly clashed with Baldwin over rehearsal styles. He wanted raw emotion and deep character work. Baldwin? Not so much. Tensions boiled over, arguments broke out, and it got so bad that LaBeouf was fired from the production. But it didn't stop there. Shia made the feud public by posting their private email exchange online, turning a backstage issue into full-blown entertainment news. Later, Baldwin described Shia as a talented kid with problems, but the damage was done. The two haven't worked together, or even been seen together since. Number 10. We're taking it way back to the 1970s for a feud that never really cooled off. Richard Gere versus Sylvester Stallone. This one involves a fistfight, a firing, and a grudge that's lasted decades. Let's dive in. Before they were A-list stars, Richard Gere and Sylvester Stallone were both cast in the 1974 film The Lords of Flatbush. But things went south fast. According to Stallone, tensions with Gere escalated quickly. and it ended with a physical altercation on set. Gere was ultimately fired from the film. Stallone later recalled the feud in interviews, saying Gere still held a grudge years later, even avoiding him at Hollywood events. Richard Gere eventually responded, brushing it off as ancient history. But he also admitted they've never patched things up. Sometimes those early career conflicts leave a mark that even fame and fortune can't erase. Number 11. George Clooney and Russell Crowe. Today's spotlight is on two of Hollywood's biggest leading men, George Clooney and Russell Crowe. You'd think they'd be a powerhouse duo, right? Well, not exactly. When charm meets ego, you get headlines. And this clash definitely made some noise. It all started when Russell Crowe called out George Clooney in a magazine interview, straight up calling him a sellout. Crowe took shots at actors who, in his words, chase endorsements and fame over craft, and Clooney was apparently on his list. But Clooney didn't let it slide. Instead of going off, he clapped back with pure shade, mailing Russell Crowe a CD of his own band, with a note that said, "It's better than your acting, yeah." Ouch. The two eventually made peace, at least publicly. But here's the kicker. They've still never worked together on screen. No films, no cameos, nothing. This feud might have been short-lived, but it was a perfect reminder that even the most polished stars can throw punches with words. Number 12. Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds. Now's the story brings us back to Blade, Trinity, a film full of action, vampires, and one seriously awkward on-set relationship between Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds. You'd think a Marvel movie would be all fun and epic fight scenes, but behind the camera, it was a whole different battle. In 2004, Wesley Snipes returned as the vampire-slaying Blade in the third installment of the franchise. But this time, something was way off. Snipes reportedly stayed in character the entire time, and we're talking full method acting. He refused to speak to Ryan Reynolds directly, allegedly communicating only through Post-it notes. Yep, Post-its. Sources from the crew described the set as tense, and said the bad energy slowed down production. Ryan Reynolds, ever the jokester, later hinted at the drama in interviews, but never called out Snipes by name. And while both actors delivered on screen, the off-screen chemistry just wasn't there. Unsurprisingly, they've never worked together again. Just goes to show, even superheroes can have supersized egos behind the scenes. Number 13, James Franco and Tyrese Gibson. And the last story comes straight from the set of a military drama. But the real fight wasn't in the script. It was between James Franco and Tyrese Gibson, and things got way too real. In 2006, Annapolis hit theaters, starring James Franco and Tyrese Gibson in a story about boxing, rivalry, and military discipline. But apparently the punches on screen weren't all choreographed. According to Tyrese, Franco got a little too method during filming, throwing real punches during their boxing scenes. And not just once, multiple times. Franco later apologized, saying he was so deep in character that he took things too far. But Tyrese wasn't having it. He publicly called Franco unprofessional and made it clear he'd never work with him again. And he's kept that promise. The tension was so real that their on-screen rivalry felt authentic. Because, well, it was. It's one of those Hollywood feuds where art imitated life, just with a few too many punches.